Mechanisms of enzyme activity shows up in the biological and biochemical foundations of living systems section of the MCAT. These aren't abstract biochem details. They're tested because enzymes drive nearly every biological pathway the MCAT cares about. The exam doesn't just ask what enzymes are, it asks how they work, how they lower activation energy, stabilize transition states, and get reactions moving. If you know these mechanisms called, you'll spot correct answers instantly instead of second-guessing under time pressure. Enzyme-substrate interaction. Every reaction starts with the enzyme binding its substrate at the active site. The fit is highly specific, like a lock and key, or sometimes more flexible, like induced fit. The key point: enzyme activity depends on shape and chemistry. If the substrate doesn't fit, the reaction doesn't happen. Acid-base catalysis. Some enzymes act like chemical buffers. They donate or accept protons to stabilize charges during the reaction. Think about amino acid side chains like histidine, perfectly positioned to grab or release a proton and keep the reaction moving forward. Covalent catalysis. Here, the enzyme forms a temporary covalent bond with the substrate. This intermediate lowers the activation energy and gives the reaction a shortcut. The bond doesn't last forever. It's just a step that makes the whole process faster and more efficient. Metal ion catalysis. Many enzymes require cofactors like zinc, iron, or magnesium. These metal ions stabilize negative charges, orient substrates, or participate in redox reactions. On the MCAT, if you see a reaction that looks unstable, check whether a metal cofactor is involved. Proximity and orientation. One of the simplest but most powerful tricks. Enzymes hold substrates close together in the right orientation, so the probability of a successful collision skyrockets. Without this, substrates would just float randomly in solution and rarely react. Transition state stabilization. The transition state is the toughest hurdle, the highest energy barrier in the reaction. Enzymes stabilize this state, making it easier to reach. This is why enzymes don't just speed up reactions, they make them possible under physiological conditions. Allosteric regulation. Not every enzyme is on all the time. Some have allosteric sites where molecules can bind to turn activity up or down. Allosteric activators enhance function, while inhibitors reduce it. This is crucial for metabolic pathways and shows up often in MCAT passages about regulation and feedback loops. Mechanisms of enzyme activity explain why biology works at the molecular level, and the MCAT expects you to connect each mechanism to reaction efficiency, regulation, or pathway control. Remember, it's not about memorizing labels. It's about seeing how enzymes lower barriers and control flow in real systems. With that said, here are just a few of our student success stories. Students who mastered these concepts, boosted their scores, and got into medical school. If you're studying for the MCAT, click the link below to get started with your own prep. We help students reach a 515 plus on the MCAT, and we'd love to do the same for you. And don't forget, subscribe to our channel for more MCAT breakdowns like this, and follow us on Instagram for extra tips and resources.